translation website. Hi.
I'm happy at work this morning.
What?
I'm happy at work this morning.
Did it work?
Congratulations.
Did you hear it? I don't really know.
Everyone seems to have been really happy, so that's good.
Oh, yeah, good. Let's see if I have.
I can't hear French.
Is anybody talking?
When I talk in the microphone, I can't hear French.
Can you speak? I see levels on French, so let me just check.
Poop poop.
French isn't working.
Good morning, and we'll continue from yesterday. And as I have said and used a quote from the Kambupa's text of 달기,
The ornament of liberation.
the ornament of liberation, where he points out the 6 points or stages or order for a practitioner to engage. And yes. Hello, hello. Same. So the 6th point, starting with the talking about the Buddha nature as a seed, and Kien Mili Rinpoche.
The condition being the precious human body.
Then Mili Rinpoche, ani Kien Kewishini Tapti Tangwa Chewuzoksan Yeshiku.
So the basis being the most precious human existence, the condition being the spiritual master, the method being the instruction of the spiritual master, the fruit being the bodies of perfect Buddhahood, and the activity being to non-conceptually fulfill the welfare of beings.
For me, these 6 points is so like the way how Gambupa put it in our order is something that
When I think about it, I'm really amazed.
Because those 6 points can be used in any stages of practice and can be related in any kind of stages, circumstances, in like numerous practice of Buddhism. and can be used in every circumstances. So that is something that very amazing to think about it. And those 6 points is not only about use during the study, analyzing, but those 6 points can be used and can be very much effective while we practicing Tantra or contemplating any kind of meditations, especially Mahamudra. That is a very, very good guidance, I believe. Although Gambupa did mention in his text that those who really want to see him, know him, or being too much devoted towards him, And those who really wants to meet him, just look at his commentary in the book. He has shared his all vision, ideas, his character in that book. So when you look at the book and see the vision, you will see me. And you don't have to think the distance between me as a Kambopa and you in a different timeline or whatever. So those kind of quote is a very heavy message. And so for me, it seemed like this is kind of hard message he was applying for the old Gaju student to try to know his teaching. So one of his successful, or every teaching of his is successful, but most of the people are study as the jewels of ornament.
Yeah, the precious ornament.
And Lamchurin Jichewa.
The garland of jewels.
So for me, when I practice Mahamudra, and when I try to look those teachings, especially like those, for me, like jewels of ornament has a very strong impact to understand more about Mahamudra. Although the concept we might think like, oh, Mahamudra should be something that are very secret text and something that's so like, but when you actually see it, it's just an instruction, but more in the perfect order, in the points, according to the stage. I would say, the precious jewels of ornament.
I think the ornament of liberation.
Ornament of liberation is like the best. And in there, it put it in a very, very, how to say, specific, good order. The first is the Buddha nature. And I think with that 6 guidelines, and with this Namshe Nyingpo Tempa, these 2, if you combine together with that and try to engage each process of your meditation, I think each second will be awareness, each second will be meaningful, each second will be more satisfaction. And when we do meditate, we just close our eyes and firstly we try to calm ourselves down. But in the end, we kind of end up ourselves in being like joyful calmness state. But there is no guarantee for that. The moment you like something,
Conditions.
condition, if you approach with some condition, everything will fill up. And then like the emotions, the mental concepts, like volcano, tornado like this. But there is not that much heavy with just being like meditating on the calmness. Although it's very enjoyable because we do receive the 3 effects. We call it Deva Sarva Mitopa.
Bliss, clarity, and non-conceptuality.
Yeah. So this three is mainly the result of any meditation. But such meditation, like every meditation has those results, but such meditation based on awareness and like this, in the end, there will be a highlight of awareness coming in your mind. And when things approach, or the things like something we face in some circumstances, we become so much aware what to do. Sometimes we don't know what to do because during the meditation we caught up towards the calmness, and now when the circumstances approach, you just flip your calmness and like what to do. To come again with the calmness is very difficult because you're already in the very high state of mind being truteba,
Agitated.
agitated. So, yeah, if a people faces strong happiness or sadness or any disturbance, they cannot meditate. No one can meditate. Huh? If your anger is on the peak, and let's say a very good friend, meditate, it never works. It never works. Especially those Deva Sarva Mitopa will not come.
The experience of bliss, clarity, and non-conceptuality will not arise.
That forget about. This far, far. Not even close. Because you are at the peak of being disturbed. But when you go through awareness of meditation, then when such things happen, if you can remember, that helps. That helps. Not the meditation. Meditation can bring habits. But awareness, you have to build it. From my experience, I do meditate, I do contemplate, studies. I'm not sure whether it works same with other people, but for me, meditation is more making a habit, a stable habit. And just meditation is making like a habit of doing the same stuff. Maybe there's a little bit kind of a yenden qualities, but for me it's more like just making a strong habit, stable. But a knowledge and awareness combined with the meditation makes the awareness stable. So normally when people say I can meditate a lot, it actually doesn't amaze me. Yeah, 3 hours, 6 days, 9 days.
When you say meditation, you mean Shine meditation?
No Shine, just sitting and closing eyes and just meditating, being mindfulness on the breathing or whatever. So I say meditation can be in a different forms. Mainly is single mind point training. So like that doesn't impress me a lot. Because you can do same thing in a different way. it's just, for me, meditation is like, the way how I observe is, meditation is single mind pointed towards something. If you are anger, you're meditating. If you're sleeping, you're meditating. Whatever you do, you're focusing. The only difference is where you are meditating on. Yeah? So, yeah, when you are angry, you are full on concentration, and it keeps up and up, up, up. When you're sleeping, you're trying to focus more on the calmness, or like the joyful state, again and again and again and again. And like those. So, if you can focus on just listening the teaching, that is meditation as well. If you can just look towards the painting and without distraction, that is meditation. Every movement of mind, concentrating on an object or whatever, that is meditating. But, for example, as I said before, we have less interest on the real facts of seeing things impermanence, selfless, so that it's very difficult to meditate. Right? That's true. So, here, the Kamboba, the sixth stage, here he talks about mainly first H.E.Jamgon,
The cause, which is Buddha nature.
Buddha nature. Now, when I look back towards my past, in my life, I have done retreats, traditional and non-traditional, and I have studied for many years, traditionally, non-traditionally, and so in Tantra, we have saying
The innate wisdom, which is mind's true nature. Semni lanchikebeyeshi.
And also during the deity practice, we have kasugya dadunta jipamusewa da.
The symbols, the essence and the signs.
Sign and kasa.
Da symbols, meaning the essence. Da the signs that point to it, the reasons.
So we have, for example, like a deity, essence,
the symbol. Yeah. For instance, the symbolic Vajravarai, the essential Vajravarai, and what is pointing to her, the sign. What is the signs that are pointing to Vajravarai?
So we have those categories, and we also have Dwenji Doji Pamo. doing it to
The actual Vajravari.
So in that, before Similin Jiki Vishi, doing it to
So the mind's true nature, the innate wisdom, is the actual Vajravari.
According to the Tantra Mahamudra way, we have Similin Jiki Vishi, Chikche.
Yeah. Can you say the whole thing?
And then, according to deity, Dönji Doche Pamosya, Ni, Doshone, according to Sutra, Judevarshi Vinyimbo Sero, Sum. Kati Kagaleso, Jig charging tonachi, Jing Maki tonachi, Jig Dogi tonachi.
So there are three words which are actually synonymous. In the framework of Mahamudra, we are talking about mind's true nature, which is innate wisdom. In the context of Yidam practice or tantric practices, we are talking about the actual deity, like the actual Doji Vajravari, and in the framework of the sutra, we are talking about the cause, Tathagata Garbha, or the Buddha nature.
So, those three described differently according to the different vehicle. But it seems to be they are talking about the same thing. So, in that perspective of seeing those three in a one, somehow the curiosity of each vehicle, how they, the curiosity of what does it mean, how something, for me it's like something is missing from that vehicle has the answer in a different vehicle. So when you combine those three vehicles or the three traditions together, it makes full sense, full answer. Just like, okay, so this might be the real meaning kind of thing. Did you get it? Yeah, no. I think more yes, so I will go with that. And so, when we combine all together those three, what does it mean? Actually, it means we already enlightened in a way that we don't know. And the reason why, for example, according to Sutra way, they give three answers why we have Buddha nature. So I will say it in Tibetan. Chumzen chi chena simjin chi nyingbu jin simjin sangji ji nyingbu jin yin shinas. Chugu tongni chi simjin la chabadang. Chunyi deshini la yewa me bishirdang. Simjin tamji la rik yobe chirisne. Chumzen sumsu.
So there are three reasons why we can say that all sentient beings have the Buddha nature, and these three reasons, which are explained in the Gyulama, are the ornament of liberation, are because the Buddha because the Buddha's body pervades all, because the dharmakaya pervades all, because suchness is without differentiation, and because beings possess the potential, every living being at all times has the Buddha nature.
So they mainly give three reasons, right? Three reasons.
Yes.
So from these three, first they say, Chugu Toni Simji Tamjila Chaps.
The dharmakaya pervades all sentient beings. The dharmakaya, which is emptiness, pervades all sentient beings. All sentient all sentient beings.
So it means all the living being has dharmakaya. So it's kind of interesting to see from one point of view that how we ordinary being can say that we have a dharmakaya. Because normally dharmakaya we describe as a true selfless, full awareness, a mind, can say enlightened mind. So it's kind of unfitting instantly to think about. Especially when we are too much disturbed. If the mind is too much disturbed, and it is very difficult to compare ourselves with the dharmakaya. Because the thing, what we know, dharmakaya. So dharmakaya is normally is known in, I will say, because yin tang yeshi ni yen me pala chuchu ku sekre.
Yin tang
Yeshi.
yeshi yermeba chugiku. It's the dharmakaya, which is the inseparability of yin, is chuyin,
Chuyin tongpani.
of the true dimension of dharmadhatu and primordial wisdom, yeshi.
Yin tang yeshi yen me pala chuchu ku sekre.
So, in the inseparability of the dharmadhatu and wisdom is the dharmakaya. So, the dharmakaya is the inseparability of dharmadhatu and wisdom.
Yeah, a mind being truly selfless, being in the true form of being selfless. So like that.
So dharmadhatu being the subject and wisdom being the dharmadhatu the object and
Yes.
wisdom the subject.
Subject in the sense.
Kempe chada yulkicha dingari yurbe.
Korangi nilu tang, korangi nilu tope ishi de yemebe nyamba kanga yodeng de ishi se.
So the aspect of the true nature of Niluk and the aspect of the wisdom that realizes this true nature, the Niluk Tokpe Yeshe, they are inseparable, and this is the realization of the Dharmakaya.
So normally when we say Dharmakaya, it's known to be like how it is mentioned. So the thing is that it is easy to read And like, it's also like there is a possible you can contemplate on that. But more than that, we have to be aware by your own self. I do remember my teacher. I used to have many teachers, but one of my most important teacher is actually from Nyingma, not Kayi, where I studied. I spent my 4 years with him, and distraction. So it was very unique for me to take the Uttartantra subject, because I was in Bodh Gaya. He was with me most of the time. And he's a good practitioner and a pure monk. And he was an example of being a genuine heart practitioner, like being so honest with his practice that you can't differentiate the person and the practice. A very good example.
What was his name?
Not necessary. Keep it private. Otherwise, if he were here, he will get ego. So, one day, he told me that I'm staying in Bodh Gaya without doing anything too much, and that is a waste of time. So you should study. And he told me that he cannot teach a teaching, a text. So he asked me. He gave me an option of 2 topics. One is Tomsum,
The 3 vows.
the 3 vows, and one is Uttartantra, mainly talking about the Buddha nature. I thought Uttartantra is more relate. Of course, both topics are very precious, but the Uttartantra, because the commentary he want to base is the Jamgon Kongtrul's commentary. So I thought that would be nice. But actually, Uttartantra has very strong relation with Mahamudra, and it has strong impact with the daily practice. Also with Tomsam, the 3 vows, but more towards Uttartantra. And then I said, Uttartantra would be very much, that would be great if we can able to teach that. So almost for 2 months we spent Uttartantra. And I didn't know it has so many numbers, like points, you have to memorize. Like it's not like just listening to teaching, but you have to give examination to him. So it's quite challenging. So it's worth of challenge. So he used to tell me that, like I am a student and he's a teacher, so I should be careful with him how I act. Yeah? I can't be lazy. I should be interested to the books. Otherwise, he will think like, I'm not going to teach him anymore. He's too lazy. So I have to be interested. So I was looking like this. But never fallen asleep. That is unique. So, yeah. And one day he told me, he was thinking I was too much concentrating to the text, so I was looking so close. And he told me, you know what? This is an example. The essence in this book is everywhere. The person who wrote this, because the people is too much distracted in their daily life that they couldn't able to explore what is going around, what real happening, so that with their experience they wrote it down in a book. So when you're studying, you're not studying the book itself. You're actually studying the surrounding of existence. And that is something that you should be aware of. That whatever you study, try to apply in the daily life. It's not something that the study should be kept separately. So that was quite interesting for me. That's true. Yeah, that is true. Like you hear nowadays song is not very good, huh? Like the pop songs, they have not much like full sense. And the olden Indian songs, they have they have very good meaning and good sentence. So when you hear, it makes sense. Okay, he's trying to say that, whether it's sad song or good song, love song, whatever. It has I can feel his emotion, but the way how he put it in the word, so touching. Because you can feel that. Nowadays, no need. Just like a dukching, 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 it's annoying. And it's like some word repeating again and again and again and again, the same word, and we just like, ah. The more the classic version of the music is much better, whether it's Indian, Tibetan, English, whatever. It has very much taste and full kind of sentence. The new one is I don't know. I'm quite amazed. People do fall with this stuff. Whatever. So, what was I talking about?
The dharmakaya.
The dharmakaya. Okay, so what? Let me think.
Gutsintsum.
No.
Gutsintsum. Semshentam shela dishinimbo yore gutsintsum.
So, yes. So the teacher, my teacher. My teacher used to say that everything is in here. So when you read those stuff, try to apply in the daily life, so that makes sense. But not only that, in a way, now I remember. So he told me that Buddha nature, when you study, it was the topic of Buddha nature. Try to just don't see as a study, but see as your life. For example, you are in jail. He didn't say that, but imagine you are in jail, in a prison, and you want to go outside so badly. You need to have some kind of escape plans. Yeah. So if you have any perfect plans, then you get the best luck to escape. So the plans would be something like just a paper, but you will like really want to go outside. You will focus so much as with your own heart. So like that, when you study Buddha nature, try to see yourself to want to be discovered. So what is the method? So that if you have that much
Motivation.
motivation, a strong motivation, no matter what, you will end up somehow like exploring something. So that is kind of true. So, and yeah, so the dharmakaya, that is very important. So dharmakaya, as the definition goes, as the mind being in its true form of being selfless, is the dharmakaya. And somehow that is the true meaning of the mind. Just put in a different way, that is true yourself. That's your true identity. How? Selfless. Selfless mind. How can I engage with that idea or the concept of whatever, right? And as I say yesterday, like as I say, try to find a time to reflect ourselves and try to explore who we are without the gender and without any kind of something to do with the materialistic thing. Because in fact, everything is permanent, so it's gonna change, so that it won't be your true identity as like yourself. So, what is it? I think it would be better me just saying, but more than that, you analyzing it. Because if you don't know, if you don't cook, you don't know how to cook, right? If someone tells you how to cook, it doesn't work. You have to cook it. Just hearing stuff won't work. I do remember in our monastery, sometimes our monks goes to swimming. They don't know how to swim. The senior lama take the small lama and throw away in the middle of swimming, and they will try to swim. And this is how they learn. And they become a good champion swimming. Not in negative. They are all having fun, so. Anyway, when we die, and that is something that we can relate to, so I will talk about that. When we die, what happens? Our physical body will be separated. That's for sure. And try to go a little bit deeper. What does it mean? Your body will go separate, meaning that your gender. Because I'm saying gender because actually gender, like seeing yourself as a male, as a female, or whatever, like those are very important for you. Because sometimes you describe yourself with the gender, right? That is true. Without gender, you don't have much to think about yourself. So that is why I'm saying like to the gender. So when you pass away, you will separate your gender. You don't have your gender anymore. And work for sure. And not only that, your nationality will be separated. And then what? Your language, culture, whatever you have, totally like separated. And try to think, what do you have? The color. We as a human, we have separate function of having the ability to see such form, such color, such definition, such brain, like those stuff. But when we die, we kind of separate those stuff. And we come to a state of ourself being fully separated with that. Then, how do you discover? Size, color, you and me comes from what? Comparison. Me, because of me, I see you. And because of you, I can claim myself as me. There is a right, therefore there is a left. There is an air, that's why I can breathe. There is a size of my body, so I can compare inch, centimeter, feet, kilometer. But when you don't have actual body, how are you going to do that? Right? So how are you going to, and let's say, I'm very amazed, those people who don't have eyes, like blind, when they go sleep, when they are awake, mind is awake, but they can't see. Just imagine gluing your eyes and waking up with a closed eye. That's weird, right? For us, it's weird because we have eyes. When we close, we sleep. When we wake up, we have eyes. So we can see, we can make a difference because we have the capability to have eyes. Those don't have eyes, when they sleep awake, it's the same thing. Only thing they have awareness is all working. So, when you die, you don't have eyes, ears, gender, whatever, physical form. And do you call yourself selfless? Yeah, selfless, true selfless. Because there is no self to be pointed. And is there any joy, suffering? Yeah, suffering can become because of the concept. The concept doesn't need to have a form, right? In your mind, like thousands of elephants can fit in your concept. A country can fit in your mind. In reality, no. Even a small ant will not fit. But in the concept, everything is possible because it has no existence. So it is said it is selfless. The mind is selfless. So when we actually go through, it is selfless. And that is something that's very interesting because we haven't given a moment to think about. So that's why Buddha can able to enlighten. Because he can see the selfless. And he see the value of the surroundings, the importance. Everything is temporary, but make the good of it. With what? Love. Like relation love has good and bad. But the, generous love, without 가서 그래요. Expectation. There's no danger, no fear. Like when you don't expect anything and being very generous, and there's no much to get hurt, and there will be no boundaries. Also compassion, expectation. So that makes it boundaries. If you make a limit, it will be in the limit. If you don't make a limit, it won't be. In the essence of the mind itself has no existence, no form, no point. So that's why that is limitless. Everything can be the way how you want it, not the person, the idea. Right? So in that way, Buddha actually have the liberation to see that. He have achieved because he have seen that. What he saw is his achievement, and that is his quality. And he is liberated in that way. Of course, Buddha come in a human form, he needs to burn, he needs to age, he needs to die. Right? That is impermanence, because the body is impermanence. The mind is not the same as the body itself. Because the mind is the dharmakaya. So when we try to put, so in that state of after death, then it will be very interesting to see ourselves. There is a resemblance to compare ourselves as selfless. So that kind of selfless can be, that kind of selfless to have towards all sentient beings. That is what we call it, the seed. But in actual, that's not the seed. To introduce someone, that is the seed. The result is full enlightenment. But in fact, you have the full quality and of being enlightened, but still with the confliction and distraction, we cannot able to see. So the distraction part I will kind of mention later time. So first, which I very much like to explain was the selfless part. So the mind. Okay. There's one good example. Do we remember before our birth? No. After death? No. Only why the living beings? Because we have a body to adapt. And the selfless state of the mind, we don't kind of think of put effort. So the touchable, the absorbable, will be the physical form. Any form is something that can be experienced. So that's why we have full experience. Mm-hmm. So those are something to be a question mark for your journey. That kind of will give you a good understanding. And yes, according to this Namshi Ishi,
the treatise distinguishing between consciousness and wisdom.
In there, they will talk about Shenji Lobar Tokwa. Shenji Lobar Tokwa.
The wrong ideas of others.
The others mainly is complaining or criticizing.
Refutation.
About other school on the concept of the true nature. Because that is kind of important for those individuals because I'm not criticizing any religion or what, but when a person fully thinks that being Shenwang, Rawa member Shenwang,
Dependent?
dependent, your whole physical body, mentality, for example, in some school they say everything is created by God, so in a way your whole soul and the mind belongs to someone. In a way you are dependent towards someone. Some people, I think this kind of concept do works. And we, in Buddhist, we also have a saying that try to, take a refuge, try to surrender yourself towards Buddha, like those, for the beginner. Because some people, it is the way how to go step by step. But in reality, in a general thinking from from all directions, it's not very much about belief in the concept of the, the facts. Because when we say believe towards Buddha, take refuge under the Buddha, what does it mean? Those who doesn't know how to take. So they need to take refuge. But in the end, mainly in Buddhism, it's mainly up to you. You are your own refuge. So in that moment, it's more like you are fully independent. We can do whatever we want. But in the beginning, we are need to be dependent. So it's the way how we nourish our mind. And yes. And the reason why we show it is the wrong view is that when a person couldn't able to let's say couldn't able to see oneself has the ability to be enlightened, because enlightenment is something opposite. Enlightenment is fully liberation, right? Fully awareness, fully free from duration. And for some, that is not very suitable. And because the idea of how they see themselves, if you're fully dependent in a way, in a wrong view, everything is created by someone and all the universe, and you already could not able to open yourself. On top, you already covered by something. But somehow you are safe. But you will not go furthermore. You will be locked safely in that. Right? I'm not saying that is bad. Some people want to get enlightenment. Some people doesn't want to. Some people doesn't want to feel compassion because they don't think that is good for them. People has individual minds, so it functions differently. But in Buddhists, it is okay if you don't want to get enlightened. Yeah, I have no fuss for you. I'm just saying there is a way you can achieve something like this. You can get full awareness, but it's completely up to you if you want to go to hell. Yeah. If you want to go to heaven, there's a way, but if you want to go to hell, I'm not forcing you, but there's a chance to. So the Buddha nature is something like gives you the capacity, actually giving you the capacity to have the full freedom. Not freedom as physical freedom going everywhere, but like having the being free from the dualistic kind of whatever we go through. So that is why Shenjalo Bartokpa. That's why in some texts they like very heavily talk about the other schools wrong. It is to a person who really wants to be liberated fully, then it is very important to show the right path, not to cover yourself with like with the idea. So that is why firstly, there is no creation God, and there is nobody owns you, mainly, right? The view, when normally we kind of, criticize other view, mainly the other school somehow wants to own you. And Buddhist, no one owns me, I am free. I mean that I can do whatever, like I'm not your property. You are your property, I'm my mind property. Like, it's mainly like no one owns our true nature. Yeah? Your nature is just the way how it is. And no one owns your nature. And no one can control your nature. So the main reason where in the studies where they criticize others, that we are not criticizing for the sake of the text. We are criticizing for the sake of our freedom, our own like ravana.
Independence.
That we are not controlled with any. We are fully. So first that we have to know that our mind, our true nature. So if we don't know, we have kind of the free capacity. We have the capacity to see ourselves as being liberated from those by owning someone, right? That is true. I think we will stop here.